welcome back to my channel, and if you are new to my channel, welcome. This is my review for Love and Hip Hop Miami Season 3, Episode 13, Reunion Part 1. I didn't think they were going to do a reunion for this season because of the whole coronavirus thing, but maybe they filmed this before all of this went down. But either way, let's just get right into this review, and if you missed my reviews for episodes 1 through 12, please go check those out. So basically, this review starts off with talking about the whole Amara and MJ relationship. And as you know, in this season, we saw the downfall of that relationship between the two of them. When it started, she seemed like she was really happy with MJ. And as the season continued, he started to become invasive in her space. And when it came to her business ventures, he was very pushy about wanting to have children with her soon. And she was very serious about not wanting to have kids until her career took off. He was also in her business when it came to the whole Julian thing. And he asked her when she did cut Julian off, he asked her if he could be her manager, and she felt uncomfortable with that. He even got her a puppy after she said that she was not ready for that type of responsibility. You could see that she didn't really want to be in that relationship. And once Annie, who is MJ's ex-girlfriend, came to her and told her about her experiences with MJ, that's when Amara realized that there were some similarities between her relationship with MJ and Annie's relationship with MJ, and so she decided to take a break from him. Now, at this reunion, MJ was basically a little bit emotional, and he was saying that he's not in a good space right now, but that him and Amara are still living together, and he's there as a support system for Amara. And basically, Shay gets annoyed at MJ during this reunion. The two of them kind of start arguing, and this time I definitely do take Shay's side in the situation. Her brother comes to her crying about the situation, how much he wants to be with Amara and how much he loves Amara, but Amara does not want to be with MJ. And basically, Shay was saying during this reunion that Amara needs to tell MJ that she doesn't want to be with him anymore, and that MJ should not be living in the house with her, because that's the only way he's going to get over that relationship and move on, is if he's not living with Amara and he's not dealing with her on a day-to-day basis. She also told Amara that it's not wrong for her to want to be in a relationship with somebody else and not want to be with MJ anymore. That's fine, which it is fine. You cannot want to be with somebody anymore, but let him know that you don't want to be with him anymore because you're giving him false hope. I honestly don't think that Amara wants to be with MJ. She's only letting him live with her because she feels bad. And basically, MJ was kind of getting loud at Shay, and Shay was like, well, don't get loud with me, brother, because I'm the one who's there for you when you're crying about this woman 24/7. Amara was saying that all we saw on the show was how MJ supported her, but she also supported MJ all the time as well. That's not true. We did see how she was supporting him because he was living in her house off of her money because he wasn't making any money at the time. And so he was basically saying that he's always going to be there to support Amara and be there for her, and that, yeah, he doesn't make a lot of money right now, but he wasn't just focused on Amara's career, he was focusing on his own too, but that he saw how much Amara was struggling and how stressed out she was, so he wanted to be there as a support system for her. I honestly agree with Shane, this whole situation. I feel like he should just move out of Amara's house, and they should take a real break from each other, and if they end up wanting to be together at some point, then they do, because Amara's not being open and honest and saying, look, I just don't want to be with you anymore. This relationship is not what I want, and I want to try to move on and focus on my career more. So that's what Shay was trying to say, and I absolutely agree with her on that. Bobby and Primadonna kind of start arguing a little bit, which Bobby needs to mind his business, because Primadonna, in my opinion, was not completely wrong in that situation. I think she was trying to help Amara by bringing Annie to her. I just think she went about it the wrong way. I think she should have warned Amara that she was bringing Annie there. But I also think that Bobby should have minded his business because he wasn't even in that storyline. So they start talking about the whole beef between Primadonna and Amara, which, okay, what happened was Amara had confided in Primadonna in one of the episodes about how she's feeling smothered by MJ, and basically was given the lowdown on all the red flags she sees in her relationship with him. And so basically, Primadonna ended up getting her friend Annie, who had dated MJ in the past, to sit down and tell Amara everything she went through in her relationship with MJ. And I honestly do believe that Primadonna should have given Amara the heads up on her bringing Annie to their lunch, just because Amara would have had the opportunity to say she didn't want to meet with the woman and she had no interest in doing it, or she could have chose to come because she wanted to hear what Annie had to say. Primadonna basically took that choice away from her, but I don't think that Primadonna was doing it to be malicious, and I honestly think that, Amara needs to take responsibility in her part of the whole situation, because just because Annie told her what she went through in that relationship does not mean that she had to go home and flip out on MJ. She could have honestly let him tell his side of the story, which she did not do. She just started screaming and yelling at him and telling everything that Annie said, and so basically they ended up taking a break with each other, and that's how Amara chose to handle that situation. I don't think that Primadonna's at fault for that. I think that they were both wrong in a sense at certain points, and the fact that Amara did not even tell Primadonna that she had an issue with her, she just went to that colorism brunch that Sukihana threw and had a complete bad attitude to Primadonna. I also think that that was a little odd too. It's like, you let her know that you had an issue with what she did, and maybe they could have talked it out and things would have turned out differently, but that's not what ended up happening. Basically, Primadonna at the last episode of the season yelled out in the club that Amara slept with Julian before, and basically at the reunion they had brought that up, and Julian said that he never slept with Amara before, and so they kind of just squashed that. So maybe that was just a rumor and Primadonna just threw it out, which she shouldn't throw out rumors unless she knows if they're true or not. And then they kind of went on to talk about how she wanted to talk to MJ at that party, okay? She didn't want to talk to Amara at Trick Daddy and Trina's celebration for their radio show. She was trying to talk to MJ, and basically Amara didn't want that to happen, but she should just toss MJ to the side too, Primadonna should, because he didn't listen to her anyway. He wants to be with Amara, and so anything anyone has to say about her, he doesn't want to hear. He looks like a simp, basically, because he's kissing this woman's ass who clearly does not want to be with him. And I honestly do believe that Amara is wrong for leading this man on and not just telling him, look, I don't want to be with you anymore. If we end up finding each other at some point in the future and get reconnected again, that's a different story, but right now I don't see you in my future. That's what she needs to tell him, and tell him to move up out of her house, because she does not want to be with him, and this is being dragged out for way too friggin' long. Basically, they talked about the whole JoJo and MJ thing, because JoJo had told Amara in one of the episodes that she was talking to MJ at one point, but she clarified that he didn't slide in her DMs. They were talking via text messages on the phone, but nothing ever happened between the two of them. I don't even see why that was a reason to even bring that up. That was completely irrelevant to the whole entire season. They started talking about the whole Trina and Julian situation, because that was a big topic during this season. And basically, Trina said that she finished her album and it was put out in stores and online, and Julian was given a $300,000 advance, and he used it for his own ventures instead of using it to put into Trina. And so basically, she was being contacted by people who wanted their money that they were owed, and then her album ended up getting taken off of shelves and out of online stores. And so basically, Julian said that a lot of the money was spent on Trina. She thinks that he spent it all on his own ventures, but he actually did use the money for her. She's not buying it. And basically, Trina said that Julian was foul, a liar, and a thief, which he does have a reputation for doing. I don't think anybody's going to work with him anymore. I don't even know why he signed up to do the show with as bad of a reputation as he has. After this season, no one's going to mess with him anymore. Now, basically, she said that she's getting emails about owing money because Julian supposedly signed Amara to her label without her knowledge. I don't understand why he would do something like that. He does a lot of shady business deals, and it's just odd to me that he does that stuff and thinks nobody's going to ever catch on to it. Now, Julian apologizes for not reaching out to Trina when her mom passed away, and Trina looked visibly upset about it, but she said that she's not accepting anybody's apologies anymore. She wants them to change their actions and change their ways. She's not just going to go off apologies, and I can understand why she wants to do that, because sometimes an apology is just not enough. Now, Trina says that Julian was making deals in her name without her knowledge, and basically Amara ends up coming into the conversation saying that she has nothing to do with Trina's situation with Julian, okay? She does seem to have some type of a soft spot for Julian. I don't know if it's because they did sleep together or because he was the only person who gave her a chance and believed in her when nobody else did. I don't know, but she's the one who inserted herself into that whole situation with Trina and Julian, so I don't understand why she's saying saying she's not a part of it. She's the one who felt skeptical about Julian because of the whole Trina thing, and she's the one who reached out to Trina to find out exactly what went down. Now, Trick ends up coming out because he gets pissed off at the fact that he feels like Julian is being a liar, and basically he tells Julian that he was selling some of his music overseas without giving him the money for it. And so basically he told Julian that he does some shady, fraudulent business type of deals. And so basically that's how that whole situation ended. Julian basically said that nobody has to mess with him anymore if they don't want to. I guarantee you nobody will after this, and if anybody does, they're crazy as hell, because after all these allegations about him, his reputation is ruined. Start talking about the little petty beef between Primadonna and Jocelyn, which it was completely irrelevant in this season to me because it didn't last. Jocelyn had stopped filming and didn't want to film with Primadonna at all. She didn't even want to be in the same place as Primadonna. Trina during the season tried to get Jocelyn and Primadonna to make amends because she felt like the beef was petty, but it was a lost cause because basically Jocelyn claimed that she doesn't like women with bad attitudes and bad bodies, which I don't understand why she's talking about people with bad attitudes when Jocelyn has a very bad attitude. It's hard for her to even get along with people. I can admit from doing reviews from this new season of Marriage Boot Camp, I do see a different side to Jocelyn, and I can understand her a little bit more, but I do think that she goes too far with some of the things that she says. Basically, Primadonna said that she doesn't understand why Jocelyn talks about her body because she has a natural body and Jocelyn doesn't. And I agree with her on that. I don't believe that if you've had any work done on your body, any type of plastic surgery or any type of liposuction, that you have a right to come for anybody else's body when they haven't had any work done. Because basically, if you didn't have the work done, you wouldn't be looking the way that you look either. And so, I mean, I don't have a problem with women getting plastic surgery. If you want to get it, whatever makes you feel good about yourself. But at the same time, Jocelyn should not be commenting on Primadonna's body if Primadonna hasn't gotten work done. I don't know if she has gotten work done or not. She claims she hasn't. All she uses is her waist trainers. I don't know, but I agree with her on that thing. But one thing I didn't agree with Primadonna in this particular scene was when she talked about how Jocelyn was supposedly taking drugs or whatever while she was pregnant with her daughter. I don't think she should have mentioned anything about Jocelyn's pregnancy or anything about Jocelyn's daughter because she doesn't really know what went down, and that would just be speculation. And I just think that kid should be completely off limits. But at the end of the day, I do think that Jocelyn goes too far with talking about people's bodies all the time. She does it a lot, and I don't think that she should be doing that. I don't look at Primadonna as she is a bad body built woman. I feel like she's very curvaceous, and if she wants to lose weight, she can. She did have a baby not too long ago, and she does have 3 kids, and she's proud to be a mom of 3 kids. So if she feels like her body's fine, then she feels like her body's fine. I don't think that should have really came up too much. They bring up the whole Sukihana Miami tip and Saucy Santana situation. I don't even know why they included Sukihana in this conversation because she really didn't have anything to do with it. She did try to get Saucy Santana to forgive Miami Tip and allow her to come to his event, and he told Sukihana that she could invite Miami Tip to his event. And when Miami Tip showed up, she was told she could not go in, and there was a no trespassing sign with her picture up. I thought that was petty of Saucy Santana to do because it's like, why would you even tell her to come and waste her time just to embarrass her like that? I mean, he has a problem with Miami Tip because he came out and said that the reason why there was that shootout at the club and he had gotten grazed in the shoulder by a bullet was because of a LGBTQ hate crime, which we don't know if it was or not. Miami Tip made a video after he said that and said that it was not because he's gay. It was because he was disrespecting people in that club. He was taking his clothes off in the club and being loud, pointing in people's faces, talking shit to everybody. And when the security guard told him that he needed to pull up his pants and stop taking his clothes off in the club because he wasn't allowed to do that, Saucy Santana got mad and started getting real saucy on them in the club. And so basically that's when the whole shootout thing happened. There's no excuse to shoot at anybody, though. Even if he was acting up in the club and he was taking his clothes off, they should not have done that to him. But at the same time, I don't think that he should say that it was a hate crime if he doesn't know if that's actually the reason why. It's like, you can't always assume that that's the reason why somebody's doing something to you. So I honestly understand what Miami Tip was trying to say. I do like that they were able to drop it at the end of this reunion because I don't think that it's a beef that should continue. I think that it was just a misunderstanding. He has his truth, she has her truth. They could just agree to disagree, and that's exactly what they did. So I like the way that ended up turning out at the end of the day. So at the very end of the first half of this reunion, they talk about Trina's Girls Tour, okay? Because Trina's album ended up getting taken off shelves and out of online stores, she decided that she wanted to throw a girls tour. And so she did auditions with Joy, and she picked the ladies that she really liked, which was Sukihana, Hood Brat, and then at some point she decided that she wanted Chameleon to be a part of it. And at the audition, Nicki Natural, okay, who was dating Trick Daddy at one point in time, came to the auditions. They actually thought she did pretty good. I think that both Joy and Trina treated her fairly, and at one point they wanted her to rap battle another girl to see which one of them was going to make it to the tour. And basically Nicki Natural was rude in the audition and said that she wasn't rap battling anybody because she feels like she already beat the other girl, and that's not something she has to do. She got a little saucy with with Trina, and I don't understand why she was doing that. I felt like she should have took advantage of the opportunity that Trina was trying to give her, and that's why I don't really think she's going to make it in that industry, because she doesn't have any respect, okay? So basically, she was cut out of the tour, but Trick Daddy had came to Trina and told her that he wanted her to give Nicki another chance, and so because Trick Daddy co-signed her, that's why Trina decided to allow Nicki Natural to come to her boot camp that she was doing to prepare the ladies for the tour. But the boot camp never even got started, because when Nicki came to the boot camp, she was very rude to Trina and Joy, and then her and Sukihana had ended up getting into it because they got into it at a club at Briscoe's party at one point, and Nicki Natural took Sukihana's phone. Sukihana saw it on the security camera, so she confronted Nicki Natural at the boot camp before it even started, and the two of them started fighting. Hood Brat ended up showing up, and she started fighting as well with Nicki Natural, and then Trina ran over there to try to see what was going on with all the fighting, and basically Nicki snapped at Trina, so Trina snapped back at her, and it was all a disaster. And so Trina ended up canceling the boot camp, okay? Nicki Natural on this reunion was getting on my nerves because she was trying to say that she wasn't rude to anybody. She wasn't rude to Trina. She absolutely was rude to Trina. She disrespected Trina. I'm not saying you have to kiss anybody's ass because they are a celebrity and they've accomplished a lot, but at the same time, Trina was giving her respect at that audition, and she was rude to her, and I felt like she should have just took the opportunity that Trina was trying to give her, because Trina really didn't have to try to help these girls that were underneath her to try to make it in the industry and get their name out there. And so she basically was trying to say she wasn't rude to anybody. She's delusional. I hope that they don't put her on another season of the show because it was annoying. Basically, she ended up going backstage and calling Trick and Trina the king and queen crab of Miami. Trina got pissed off, so she runs backstage and starts banging on the door that Nicki Natural is behind, because she basically wants to fight the girl because the girl's disrespecting her. I don't think that Trina should allow this girl to get her out of character at the reunion. But at the same time, when somebody's disrespecting you, you can't control how somebody claps back at you. So the reunion ended up cutting there. That was part one. So that was part one of the reunion. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know how many parts of this reunion they're going to do. I know part two comes out next week, and I will be watching and doing a review for that. So let me know what you guys thought about this part one of the reunion down in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos, and thank you to all my subscribers for the support. I appreciate you all, and until next time, I will see you guys in my next video.